So let's see what we got to do. Come on.
Came up with an event for the Cub Scouts called the Pinewood Derby, where you would take a block of wood, carve it into a car, and then race it derby style, gravity style, down these ramps, and it was wildly popular. So it made me think, a lot of you had mentioned about the challenge.
Yeah, we love a challenge, Scoutcrafter.
199 Stanley Challenge.
Yeah.
But you know, when we got too big after a while, after we hit 25,000 subscribers, it was kind of too big to do challenges because it was just flooded with entries, and especially if they were popular. But because Landon is getting into his Pinewood Derby, I thought it would be a good challenge because not everybody will enter.
We've been waiting a long time.
It'd be a great challenge, and a lot of us would enjoy seeing. To have an adult Pinewood Derby, more or less, for us, and I came up with a little bit of changing it around so that we could do it. Let me show you what I had in mind. Now, as a Cub Scout, you would buy these kits that would come with a pre-cut piece of pine, usually, and it had slots in there, and they came with 4 nails and 4 plastic wheels that you would press the nails into these slots that would keep it aligned so that the cars would go down the track straight. That was kind of a head start, and from there you would design and carve out and make it into different shapes. Now, I used to make a couple cars with those Scouts, and here are a couple cars that I made that back just to give my ideas of what could be done.
Mine will look nothing like that.
This one's done in a candy apple gold, and you could see
really
the design.
lovely
and again,
jobs.
The paint, you know, you got to do a lot of sanding and things. I made the little windshield out of some plexiglass.
You'll be lucky you get
a little
sanding.
back, and this was a nice little car. And then this one here in Scoutcrafter red, we had to do again a different. I like the open wheel style cars, but you can have any type that you wanted. Bought some water slide decal kits and just put on there, and then clear coated over. And then just for fun, I showed that what you could do. At this time here, I think I had a lathe because I turned all this stuff down on the lathe, but a little rotating turret and a kind of an army vehicle. Kids always got a kick out of that, but it was just so much fun. I thought, why do we have to stop?
Yeah,
you know, we're just big kids anyway.
We are, yeah, we're all
big
big
kids.
kids.
This challenge for our own.
Yeah.
Now for us, let me show you the challenge I had. So for our challenge, my challenge to you is to make a car out of a piece of regular construction lumber, which will be a good challenge because this isn't, you know, quality, super quality lumber, and it, you know, you'll have to get a little bit creative to make this look something. Now, this is a 2x4, okay? And that's the challenge. A 2x4.
Oh, 2x4.
12 inches is the length. That'll give you a nice length to work with. Now, the only thing you're going to have to come up with is some kind of wheels, and I'll show you about that in a minute. But for those of you who might be overseas or whatever, a construction lumber here, 2x4, is not actually 2 inches by 4 inches. And here, 2x4, and it's funny. It took me a long time when I was a kid. We were doing woodwork. I was always confused. Why is a 2x4 called a 2x4 when it's not even 2x4? Well, that was they came up with an excuse, which is nothing but an excuse, because years ago a 2x4 was literally 2 inches by 4 inches. But later on, they said it was that before they cured it and took all the moisture out, and then it, you know, this is the shrunken diameter. So now 2x4 is actually 3.5 inches by 1.5 inches.
Oh, 3.5 by 1.5.
So that's what a construction 2x4 is, but by 12 inches long.
Oh yeah, 12 inches.
You know what's nice about that? This here is what's called a burl, and a burl is a.
What did he say? 1.5 by 2.5. Oh, we got to look again then. Yeah, that one's too big. Okay, plan B. So I know what you mean. Is this wood that's up here in the roof? Have I got any? I thought I might have to cut a piece out of there. Go up there and cut a piece. But anyway, I found a piece. Here. This is, what's this one? This one is 2 by 3, isn't it? Yeah, 2 by 3. That doesn't sound right. Let's look at the film again. 2 inches by 4 inches, but later on they said it was that before they cured it and took all the moisture out, and then it, you know, this is the shrunken diameter.
So now 2x4 is actually 3.5 inches by 1.5 inches. Okay, so that's what a construction.
Pretty good. Yeah, that'll do.
By 12 inches long.
Oh, 12 inches.
And
yeah, we want 24 for what we want.
What's called a burl.
Yeah.
And a burl is a really nice piece, a nice grade of lumber.
We started with the big piece in the bottom, and we've ended up with the little piece down here. So anyway, it might not be a bad thing, and luckily it's 24 inches, so I don't know if I'll make the second one because there isn't a lot of room to make a mistake, is there? Anyway, come on. So I was showing you this, wasn't I? A Reggie invention. So if I want to use this, I know the blade's a bit rusty, but it'll still cut through wood, won't it? We release that button there, release this yellow button up there, and we unscrew this screw here and we let it slide. So this can cut anything it wants, go anywhere it wants to do. Let's just spin that up. Get yourself in a habit of never doing the next move until any blade or anything has stopped. Always make sure everything's stopped. Don't sort of make your next move until whilst that's spinning a bit, because just a little bit of momentum would be enough to hurt you. Anyway, so all you have to do now is lift this upwards. Yeah, I put a lead on it, look. All you have to do with this now is turn it upwards, and now you've got a bandsaw. Yeah. So how do you keep two machines in the space? I know this goes back up against the wall, but you don't have to handle it, it's easy. Pushes on wheels, except I've put trolley wheels, so you have to push it. You can't pull it because it goes mad. You have to push it everywhere. I do mean to wire it up into one plug. I've got these two machines could be plugged into there and then just one extension out, but I haven't got round to that yet. But anyway, and it's only Dexian. It's only a box. It's only a box made of Dexian. Look, braced. Make a box, make a brace. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So let's just put this back down. There it is in bandsaw mode. There's the motor. There's the adjusting things. Yeah. Does that go up and down? We'll find out in a minute. We'll find out. Oh, we might do as well. I don't know. I've never played with it. I've never adjusted it. I've never done nothing to it. Same as this. If you cut wood, that's all you want it to do is cut wood. So let's bring this down now. I hold it there, look. Kick this over. Bring that over there, hold on. So we don't spill the thing. Yeah. And it's not quite level, it needs its own feet underneath. So let's not trap the cables underneath. And let's just put it down. There we are. There we are. And now she's ready to cut wood. Yeah. I don't know if you've probably seen that before. Anyway, come on, let's carry on. Well, this has got a split in it there. Split in it there. Let's go see if we can find a better piece of wood. That's what we want, but I don't really want to chop a table leg off. So, we've used plenty of it in the past. Remember, we built the gallows. We call this the gallows, don't we? We built the gallows to hold the door of that open. We've made legs out of it. We've used it up in the roof. But can I get a piece that's going to... there's a piece just sitting up there, isn't there? Is that a piece just sitting? Oh yeah. Maybe. Hold on, let's try and get that down. See what happens. So, we've got ourselves a piece. You've got to find a piece that hasn't been out in the weather. Look, That's been out in the weather. Still a good piece of wood for whatever you want to do, shuttering or anything like that, building a shed and whatever. But well, this is okay. There's a lot of knots in this one, but this was sitting up in the roof, wasn't it? So I'm sure there's a piece here a foot long without any knots in it. Let's have a measure and a mess about. So luckily for us, there is a piece here, and we don't have to cut it out the middle. This is it's about a foot long is there, look. So it misses that knot there. Let's give it a turn. Give it a turn. There's no, that looks like a pretty good piece of wood. There's a knot here, look. But that's, hold on, that's not a foot, that's away from there. So we'll cut a foot piece off the end, and we can do, this is an actual 4x2, 4x2. But our size, now we can make our size within that, can't we? Bring this down. Whatever we do, just keep an eye on that it doesn't get any lower. And that's going to do the trick, I think.
Challenge to you is to make a car out of a piece of regular construction lumber, which will be a good challenge because this isn't, you know, quality, super quality lumber.
We got it.
You know, you'll have to get a little bit creative to make this look something. Now, this is a 2x4, okay, and that's the challenge. A 2x4 by the 12 inches is.
What did we say? 4 inches that way, yeah, and 2 inches that way, yeah. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. We got it. We got it. We got it. Let's a foot. So 2x4 by a foot. Whoop. There we are. Let's give that a 2x4 by a foot. Let's give that a cut. So where were we? There's the mark. Let's give that a doing. Push against there. Just it. Two by 4 by a foot. So do you remember, John? You I told you I had a blockage. I couldn't see how I was going to do anything with that. I just couldn't see it. The only thing I was going to do was maybe a wedge. Cut it along like that. Maybe carry a bolt in the middle of it, put 2 wheels on it. I just couldn't see it. It just wasn't in my head. But the moment you drew that little car on the side that you made in your second video, all of a sudden the light came on and I went, oh, now I see, now I see. So I was only thinking that way on. And I couldn't get around thinking that way on. I didn't even consider thinking that way on. I don't know why, just the way it is. But I was thinking this way, and I just couldn't see a way through it. But as soon as you turned the wood that way, ba-ding, my light bulb came on in my head and I was okay, yeah. So, pretend wheel. Got the shape now that we can measure from the tip there to the tip here. Oh, we need to extend that tip out a bit, don't we? We need to be able to measure correctly. So let's bring that out to there somewhere. We need to cut that corner off, won't we? And we'll need to cut this edge off, and we'll have to cut around here now. All that's got to go. All this has got to go. Maybe that would be a bit bigger. I don't really know until we get there. and we'll do the same there now. So let's try that. Let's try it. So this is what it looks like with the doors open. I've never adjusted it. For today I've just tightened it up slightly tightened it up. I'm going to approach this a different way. I'll show you in a minute the way I prefer doing it, but yeah, because I'm not very good at tightening, or maybe we could do with that. See that? The left and the right a bit. A little Allen key wouldn't go amiss there, would it? Let's have a look. And maybe a bit of tightening there wouldn't go amiss. There's a little bearing there that goes round like mad. Yeah. Let's attempt it, shall we? Let's attempt it. You know?
Can you come and get some lunch?
What?
Come and get some lunch.
Alright, Bobby.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Right. Lunchtime. Woohoo! So I've adjusted that in slightly. From a little they've gone in. I've tightened this a thread or two. It seems a lot better. It's took a lot of the slack out. Improved, but I won't be pushing it. I'll be just going real gentle with it. So yeah, let's go and get a bite of lunch and then we'll come back to it, shall we? So what I like to do always is cut lines. You know, I know you can put a saw in there and you can go along, but you're twisting and turning and cutting, and yeah, that's what it's meant to do. But I much prefer do loads of little lines roughly to where I want to be, get the most of it off. So I've done it that way. I've done the lines down to where I roughly want to be, you know. Run these lines here, so there'll be, actually could do with a few more, you know, in between. Cut it all like that into strips and bits down here. And you know, when we get over here, that's in the way, so it's not going to run through. I just turn it at a different angle and just treat it as a, so I only ever cut straight, although it's made to cut around angles and whatever. When I've got a lot of wood in the way, I don't do it. I don't twist it. And then I'll cut these even finer, and I'll put lots of little cuts in here just up to the mark, and then you'll see me in the end cut the end bit off. It's making a hell of a noise at the moment going through the wood, but obviously it's a big thick bit of wood, isn't it? But yeah, I'll roughly cut the shape out, and then I'll come again, maybe closer at the line, or change it if I want to do, or if I want to get a corner out, I'll do a crisscross. I'll cut this out and then I'll come at it from, you know, that angle and then that angle, and then work my way across. Yeah, so we're getting there. We're getting there, but yeah, that's what I do. See they're not straight down, because straight down the wood doesn't fit. So all you have to do is, and then just cut straight lines with it down to where you want to be, and then just work your way into it slowly. I was thinking of drilling a hole here and drilling a hole there, so we could turn around in there. We're coming in here, aren't we? So I could drill a hole there, drill a hole here, thicker than the blade, so that you can come down, fall in a hole, turn around in the hole, and come back out again if you wanted to. But anyway, yeah, you've got the idea now, haven't you? So I make my cut, look, so if I want to do an angle, say I want to go that way, I cut a straight line from there to there, and then I'm back in the corner again, and so I can alter my wood wherever I want to go from that corner. And the more of those corners there is, the more you can get round the angle. And I'll do this a lot finer. See, I've kept the line straight. I'll come back and bring all these lines a bit closer to my black mark now. So then if you do get a bit trapped in, it's such a small piece that gets caught, it easily flicks out the way, or it doesn't give you any trouble. The problem is when you get this trapped behind a big piece of wood, because remember it's a thick piece, isn't it? That's when you're going to be stressing your blade. That's when you're going to get yourself into trouble. You want a piece that as soon as that starts stressing, the little chunk of wood just snaps off out the way, which then takes the pressure off. You see now, this is the worst place you can be, because that blade is fully trapped in between the wood, where if this was a little piece, it would just snap off, snap off, snap off, snap off, snap off. So that's what we're going to do now. Put another whole load of rows in, so that as soon as you put a bit of twist in the wood, which would then stress or damage the blade or make it run off its rails, the little piece of wood snaps off. So we're just doing the big pieces at the moment to get a rough shape. So as you can see now, we've got to the shape we want to be roughly. As I'm turning the piece of wood, instead of the wood, instead of the blade going so far along and then getting trapped in there, you turn direction on that there, you've completely got the blade trapped, haven't you? And there's nothing going to get out of the way, you'll just damage the blade. But when you've put a lot of little ones in, each time the stress, by the time it gets to the end of that cut and it begins to get stressed, it's already cut off. It's already flicked out the way. So let's have a go at that now. So, can you see, we've managed to get a curve on it. Managed to get a curve on it without actually stressing this blade in any way. So we'll cut the bulk of this out some more now, and then we'll carry on. So you get rid of the most of it, what you won't want. And then as you get closer and closer, and what we'll do is we'll now be able to sand all that away. Yeah, that'll sand away now. So, and then we'll get the shape we want. But I think we're going to put a bit of a curve on it as well. Well, attempt anyway. You see, there's still loads of wood in my way. We've got that far. So let's get the bulk of this out first, and then we can go finer down to the line. So we've cut out the bulk of it. So now, see, I'm trying to get down here so I can get a cut across the bottom. All you do is just, each bit you take away is another bit that's not in your way. And if you take smaller and smaller bites on it, it just breaks away that much easier, See this little slither there? It's easier to stress your blade in a little slither there than what it is having a big chunk there. So, yeah, we're getting there quite nicely. You end up with loads of little chips and slices. I know it's lots of cuts, but it's the machine's doing the cutting. If you had to do this by hand, it'd be different. But because you're doing it, the machine's doing it anyway, it's no big aggravation if there's 110 little cuts being made, does it? As long as it gets you to where you want to be. Hey, look, Debbie made a little car. Are you getting impressed, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good for me, really, isn't it? It's the other way around, love. What did you say? Had I what? Had I shown them the frame, did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've made a mess on the wood though.
No, that's just...
What's this? What's these?
That's the back. The little man sits in here.
Yes, I know. What's this rough cutting here?
Oh, well, that's in the...
Now, come on.
That's the process.
Didn't John go nice and gentle all the way around?
Yeah, well, I'm not John, am I? No, we'll sort that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll sort that.
Right, I'm going to go and get some stuff for your back and some stuff for me.
Look at that. Hey, that's good for me.
Okay.
Are you not impressed?
I'll give you a 6 out of 10.
Does that mean, does that mean I'm going to get a bit of wifely encouragement? Are you impressed with it?
Hey, you can make loads. We'll sell them at the car booth.
Right. So the madam has just gone out and we keep her car in here. Look, this is what the gallows does. Remember I mentioned the gallows, didn't I? We call it the gallows, but what it does is this is like a roll-up fabric door, and it's got a piece of tube in the bottom, piece of copper tube in the bottom, and then another piece of this plastic split down the middle, so it just holds it in the bottom. And the gallows was there just to hold that up, because it is a bit of a pain holding that up whilst you go up and down. But since I've built the gallows, okay, they're not the prettiest of looking things, but they do the job. Yeah, they do the job. Let's have a look from over there. And they're not a huge bit bigger than the next, look. So that's what holds up the door on the tent, and the tent is still doing pretty good. Yeah. So the gallows came in the end. Ooh, look at that now. We wanted to get rid of that, didn't we? Yeah. Go in. See, it's going already. Let's just do it this way. See what this does. Blimey. Hey. That's going to work out just fine. So that is about as far as I'm going to show you, so we don't spoil it for anybody. I think John went this far, so I'll refine it. I've got an idea. And okay, axles you might think is nuts and bolts, but I've got an idea, but I'm going to keep that to myself. Well, good luck everyone, and hope you really enjoy making it. And it's not as bad as you think. I've got an idea. How can we, no, I'm not going to tell you. Yeah. We'll put a bit of shall we put a bit of a curve in there to make it look nice? Would that be good? How are we going to, no, I'm not going to tell you what we're going to do. But anyway, good luck everyone.